Friends, I am Dr. Surajit Ghosh. Welcome to my channel, Dr. Ghosh Presents. Top 10 homeopathic medicines for headache. Friends, most of you are very much eager to know just the names of the medicines. But to start with, I have given a very small introduction. It consists of 3 slides. This is the first one, second and third. If you are really in a hurry, you can skip this, but you must go through second and third slide, because if you do not go through it, it may so happen that you are taking a medicine for cure. On the other hand, you are doing something that aggravates your condition. So please don't miss second and third. But I will certainly read from the first one. What is headache? Headache is such a common malady that each of us suffers from it sometime in life. Simply speaking, any pain arising from head or neck can be called headache. What are types of headache? If one counts individually, types might be much over than 100. But International Headache Society HIS of London has grouped headaches into 3 main types: primary, secondary, and cranial neuralgia, facial pain, and other headaches. Primary headaches are those which have no disease or infection behind. That is, these are very simple type of headache, such as tension headache, migraine, cluster headache. Secondary headaches are those which arise from some malady or infection of head or neck that is working at the behind. These are serious headaches. Troublesome, rather grave cases. Of the third type, the best example is trigeminal neuralgia. On the right hand side, the pictures, the images have been given for each of type 1. This is trigeminal neuralgia. This is hemicranial. This is ordinary headache. How to prevent headache? This is important. Maintain a routine of 7 hours quality daily sleep. Time to go to bed and time to get up. This is also, you have to maintain this. Mind that last 2 factors act as triggers of headache. Or that is, if you go to bed at different times and get up from bed at different times, you are more amenable to be affected by headache. Maintain daily time schedule of food, drinks intake, and avoid marked triggers of headache like red wine, caffeine, monosodium glutamate, stale cheese, sauces, etc. Control your stress by yogasana, deep breathing, dance, singing, laughing, PT means physical training, etc. Control your exercises, movements, so that no extra pressure is inflicted upon the upper part of the body. It is experimentally verified that if the upper part of the body is overexerted rather, then there may be some trouble in onset of sleep. How to prevent headache is continuing. Number 5, lessen strain on eyes. Reading in low light, screen time, just give attention to these factors. Observe 20-20 rule strictly. Perhaps you know this rule, 20-20-20. This is the 20-20 rule. 20-20 rule. I will just give a very small explanation. Suppose you are working in front of a computer. So after every 20 minutes, you look at something which is 20 feet away from your eyes, position of eye, and you look there for 20 seconds. Thereafter, you again come to your computer and carry on. This is 20-20-20 rule. This is very, very important rule. Very important rule. It may have, someone may think that it is a very simple thing. What if I does not follow this? If you do not follow this, you have to pay a heavy penalty at later time. Please observe this 20-20-20 rule. 20 minutes at a stretch works in computer or phone or anywhere in screen. Then look something at 20 feet away from your eye and look there for 20 seconds. Then again come to your screen. Number 6, avoid strong scents. These act as trigger to headache. Maintain healthy body posture. Very important. Another very important thing. Body posture. Unhealthy body posture invites strain in muscles. Avoid alcohol and other addictions strictly. From the and the images at the below, the second from the left, it is shown as the sitting posture. Just note the sitting posture. How many of us sit like this? While sitting in a chair, this upper portion must be in contact of your back seat, and that should be vertical on your waist. This is legs or waistline, and this is your upper portion of the body. There must be right angle. There should not be any curvature like this or like this, not this or not this. It will straight right angle, and your bed should be firm, and you should avoid all sorts of addictions. Number 1, Retramburiaticum. A medicine for chronic headache, generalitis, prone to weeping alone, emotional to books, plays, and other pathetic things, worse from sympathy, sensitive to rudeness, criticism, and humiliation and fuss, great desire or aversion to salt, aversion to bread, fats, crack in middle of lower lip. It is also seen in sepia. Now, just one word for generalitis. Generalitis means is the symptoms of the person. It is not related to disease, but the person. These are very important things for homeopathic selection of diseases, medicines. For homeopathic selection of medicine, generally these are very important. Now, particulars may start from one side and move to other. That is headache. Begins at 10 or 11 a.m. lasts till 3 p.m. evening, as if thousands little hammers knocking in the head. Better from sleep, sweating. Periodic headache. Every day or every third or fourth day. Begins with blindness, zigzag dazzling, sets in a throbbing headache. On the right hand side, just say two simple images have been seen. Last number, crack in the middle lip has been shown. This is a very important point of selection of Retramburiaticum. Number 2, Thuja occidentalis. It is used for chronic cases. Generalitis, adapted to hydrogenoid constitution of gravel. From maltreated or suppressed gonorrhea, acts well in persons of lymphatic temperament with too much hair on body surface, or persons of psychotic and syphilitic origin. Fixed ideas like a living animal were in abdomen, as if soul and body are separated, as if being under a superior power. These peculiar fixed ideas generally lie in the mental sphere of Thuja patient. And if it is, you can elicit this information from your patient, then Thuja will be most appropriate for him or her. Particulars: dull, stupefying headache as if a nail had been driven into left frontal eminence, right parietal bone, heaviness in head, cross, disinclined to talk, pulsation in temples, worse, stooping from tea, onion, better bending head backwards. On the right hand side, I have given simple pictures of this technical term for ordinary readers and viewers. Where is parietal bone? Where is temporal bone? Where is the frontal eminence? Another thing, in the first paragraph, there are some technical terms, hydrogenoid constitution. The constitution of the person who are affected by presence of water content in the weather, that is hydrogenoid constitution. Groffel, scientist who invented this. Maltreated or suppressed gonorrhea. Gonorrhea, is a very serious sexually transmitted disease. If it is treated in the wrong way and the disease is suppressed, then the situation comes where Thuja comes and take the case and fight out it. Lymphatic temperaments means the person's temperament where lymphatic glands are affected very much. Finally, psychotic and syphilitic origin. Hahnemann, the originator of homeopathy, has proposed three types of miasmatic disease states: psoric, psychotic, and syphilitic. Of these, psychotic and syphilitic are covered by Thuja occidentalis. Number 3, glonoine, particulars. You may wonder why zeolite is not there. Mind it, the medicine which is specific for acute disease may not need the generalities. Actually, in case of acute disease symptoms predominates over the everything. If you got something general, okay, but in glonoine specifically there is no such generalities. So particulars have been given. Preeminently a remedy of intense acute headache, bad effects of mental excitement, fright, fear, sun heat of stove, furnace, terrific shock in head synchronous with pulse throbbing, pulsating headache, holds head between heads, could not lie down, carotid visibly pounding hard. Carotid artery, one can see this carotid artery just below the lower line of the jaw or just below the ear line. That carotid artery is throbbing hard there in case of glonoine patient. Brains feels too large, full, bursting, throbs at every jar step. Intense congestion of brain from delayed or suppressed menses. Headache in place of menses. It's called vicarious headache. It is seen in the ladies, in some ladies, that at the time of menses, the menses doesn't appear, but strong headache appears. Upward rush of blood, words bending head backwards, head hot, face flushed, waves of pain run through brain. A small life case has been given here. A youth, after an appalling two-wheeler accident, got his skull fractured. Owing to terrific unbearable pain in head, he implored morphia, got glonoine instead, and slipped into a calm sleep. Its effects was so magical. Number 4, sepia, a medicine for chronic complex cases. Generalities: yellowness of face, conjunctiva, yellow spots on the face, chest, a yellow, whitish yellow saddle-like impression across upper part of cheek and nose. A picture has been shown. Great sadness and weeping, fear of being alone, of pain, of fuzz, meeting friends, indifference to one's own family, to one's occupation, to those whom she loved best. Particulars: headache in terrific shocks, with scanty flow of menses in delicate, sensitive, hysterical women. Pain, pressing, bursting, worse from motion, stooping, coughing, jarring, mental labor. Better from external pressure, continued hard motion, lying down, bandaging, sleeping or a nap, applying external heat, but worse in hot room. That is, he feels ameliorated when external heat is applied, but not in hot room. Optical headache. Occipital headache with fiery zigzags. Zigzag means the zigzag lines or various imaginary figures appearing before eyes. Loathing of foods, nausea, vomiting. Better from sleep, worse from smell of food. Great falling of hair after chronic headache or at climacteric. Climacteric means is the time of menopause of the ladies. Occipital bone has been shown, and here is the saddle-like impression over the cheek or nose area in the case of ladies. It is a very telltale symptom of sepia. Number 5, belladonna, a medicine for acute disease. Particulars: headache of terrific violence comes suddenly, stays indefinitely, goes suddenly. Congestion with red, hot face, dilated pupils, violent throbbing, in brain and carotids. This medicine is somewhat parallel with the glonine. Bursting headache, worse stooping as if eyes would come out, worse from motion, jar, light, noise, lying, better from pressure, bandaging, bending head backwards. Headache with dizziness, worse stooping. Headache from washing head, jerking headache, worse talking, going upstairs, at every step feels a weight in occiput. Another life case, a boy, after exposure to a very hot sun, got a violent headache with sudden high fever. Given Bell 30, 3 hours sleep. Next day, he is fit to play football. Gelsemium, best for subacute cases. Generalities. General depression from heat of summer, weakness and trembling of tongue, hands, legs, virtually all parts of the body. Desire to be quiet, to be left alone, does not wish to talk to or allow anyone near him even if the person is silent. It is also available in ignatia, this symptom. Great heaviness of eyelids cannot keep them open. This is available in 4 medicine: causticum, graphitis, sibylinum and sepia. Particulars. Headache preceded by blindness, also available in calibicrum, sorinum and lactifluor. Better by profuse urination. Headache begins in cervical spine, spreads over the head, causing a bursting sensation in forehead and eyeballs. Sanguinaria silicea shows this symptom, starts in the same way but semilaterally, that is one-sided. Worse by mental exertion, from smoking, heat of sun, lying with head low, sensation of a band around the head above eyes. 7. Silicea. For right-sided chronic hemicrania, generalities, chilly patient, yet sweats much about head, hands, toes, feet, and axilla offensive sweat. That is, sweats from these areas, but the sweat is offensive. Fit for scrofulous patient. Scrofulous patient means the patient who are born the family with the history of tuberculosis. It's a very, very important point. One's vital heat, always chilly, even when exercising, great weariness and debility, wants to lie down always, cannot perform mental labor, feels fatigue. Particular. Chronic sick headache of long standing. Pain ascends from the nape of the neck to vertex as if coming from the spine and locating on right eye. Worse from draft of air uncovering the head. Better from pressure, wrapping warmly, profuse urination. That is, these are the situation where the patient feels ameliorated. Sensation of a band around the head above eyes. It is seen in many other diseases also. On the right hand side, the right-sided hemicrania has been image has been shown. Number 8, spigelia for left-sided chronic hemicrania. Generalities. Adapted to anemic, debilitated persons with rheumatic diathesis, to scrofulous children with various types of abdominal wounds. Rheumatic diathesis. Diathesis, the term is homeopathic term. Diathesis means an abnormality to attract some particular disease. Rheumatic means this person's attracts rheumatism very easily. And scrofula I have already told. Scrofula means a child from a tubercular family. There is family where there were tuberculosis in earlier generations. These patients are very much afraid of pointed objects like pins, needles. They suffer from pin mania. Spigelia is a peculiar symptom. These persons or childs of spigelia always collect these nails, needles very carefully so that they always think that it will prick and injure him. So they carefully collect this and keep them apart. Particulars. Nervous headache. Periodical beginning in the morning at the base of the brain, spreading over in the head, locating on the left eye. Pain pulsating, violent, throbbing. Headache starts at sunrise, reaches its height at noon, then declines at sunset. This is also shown in Atramure, Tabacum and sanguinaria. Sharp, stabbing, sticking pains pass through the eyeballs, back into the head, brought about by cold, damp, rainy weather. Sensation of a band around the head. As I have said, this particular symptoms is seen in many other diseases. On the right hand side, left-sided hemicteria picture has been demonstrated. Now, arsenic may tackle acute, subacute, chronic cases as well. Very interesting thing, this particular medicine tackle all sorts of headache. It may be acute, it may be subacute, it may be chronic. Generalities. Patients are restless, anxious, too feeble, very much fastidious, very chilly, needs warm clothing, but their desire varies with the nature of headache they suffer from, which may be as referred to below. Particulars. When suffering from neuralgic headache, they need to be wrapped up and keep warm. But in case of congestive headache, when head throbs and burns with anxiety, restlessness, hot head desires cold things. That is washing off with cold water, etc. Again, headache with involvement of gastrointestinal tract. They look for small quantity of water very often. Last, in dreadful hospital headache, starting from midnight and stunned and dazed look, they look for appeasement with constant motion of head. There are particularly 4 types of different headache in arsenicum. I have given underline there. Suriname, the last medicine. For chronic patient who are called chili sulfur. Sulfur is actually hot patient. Chili sulfur means a person who has the peculiarities of sulfur but he is chilly. In that case, Suriname is required. Generalities. Patients always have a filthy smell around their person even after bathing. Great sensitivity towards cold air or change of weather. Wear fur cap, overcoat, shawl. Even in hottest summer, all bodily excretions have a carrion-like odor. Carrion-like means rotten meat-like. Very depressed, despair of recovery, suicidal thoughts. Particulars. Headache preceded by flickering before eyes, by dimness of vision or blindness. Symptom is seen in leg deflor and calibicron. Or by black spots or rings. During headache, always hungry, feeling better after eating. Is seen in anacardium and caliphos. Headache from suppressed eruptions or menses, better from nose bleeding. With this, the video ends. My humble request to my viewers and listeners, if you feel anything to say, please write in the comments. I will certainly respond.